Sister Lale, thank you for reading today, and I couldn't help but feel like you had written that letter in that second reading. You poured yourself out like a libation in that reading. In praying over these scriptures in the feast, I actually did that back on Tuesday, I came up with some summary statements. Peter and Paul sought and spoke truth. They sought truth as they endured their own conversion experiences. Peter walking with Jesus, Paul on the way to Damascus, speaking truth even to their detriment. Paul falling by the sword and Peter by the cross. Peter and Paul dialogued and stayed in relationship. If you go back to our Easter season readings from the Acts of the Apostles, you'll remember the controversy that developed between Peter and Paul. And what strikes me about that whole controversy is that they might have fought vehemently, but they stayed in relationship. They discussed the situation. I mean, Paul even went to Peter and said, "We got to talk about this, Pete." You know, they stayed in relationship and they dialogued together. And Peter and Paul discerned and listened to the Spirit. I'm amazed at how Peter, always with his foot in his mouth, but also a very stubborn man, gave way after his mystical experience and or dream, in which he realized that he needed to give way to what Paul was saying. And then Paul's teaching so beautifully about the gifts of the fruits of the Spirit, especially. The fruits of the Spirit as opposed to the counter spirits, especially as we read in his letter to the Galatians. So Peter and Paul sought and spoke truth, dialogued and stayed in relationship, and discerned and listened to the Spirit. Can we, as followers of Jesus, do any less? Can we, as people working on behalf of the local church of Lubbock, be and do anything less? Please join with me in praying that we might always seek and speak truth. That we might always be ready and willing to dialogue and stay in relationship, as I'm going to talk about at family camp tonight. And that we always be ready to discern and listen to the Spirit, no matter what challenges it might pose to us.